He is Fordham's new head men's basketball coach. Please join me in welcoming the newest member of the Fordham Athletics family, Coach Tom Pecora.
Please sit. You obviously haven't played a game yet, or you haven't come to a practice. It is truly an honor to be here. And every time people ask me that I haven't met, and I've been traveling quite a bit recruiting, where do you coach? I say Fordham. And I say it with a great deal of pride and a great deal of passion. And I can't tell you how proud I am and my family is to be affiliated here. It was funny, about a month into it, I was at an event and I ran into Father McShane, who, by the way, isn't allowed to speak before me anymore, because how do you do a better job than he does? He's a rock star. But he said, any buyer's remorse. And I kind of chuckled inside, and there's not a bit of it. Everything I had thought Fordham is and could be is happening, and things are moving in that direction. There's an expression, just briefly to talk about the 71 team, and I'll come back to it, that I've used in the past, and that is that tradition never graduates. And the 71 team that we're honoring tonight has a special, special place in the history of this university. Not just on the basketball court, and I talked to my team about this morning. Each day in practice, there's a thought for the day, and we talked about the 71 team, and I'll share some thoughts on them later, but how successful they were after they got done having their great basketball run, and how much success they've all had. And that's what Fordham men are all about. It's not about just performing on the court and then having a hard time finding your way when you hit the real world. It's about being prepared through the education you get at Fordham and the people you surround yourself with, and moving on and having great success. And that 71 team and our honorees tonight are a perfect example of that. There's so many people to thank. You know, I had a list, and when I got to about 80, I said, you know, I'll have to tell anyone who didn't have their name called to stand up, because it's just about everybody here has been tremendous. And obviously it starts with Father McShane, and it goes through Jeff Gray's office and Frank McLaughlin and the faculty and the administration and the athletic department. People have just gone out of their way to help us. And it's just been a tremendous experience, and I know in my heart that good things lie ahead. And I want to thank everyone who's been involved, especially with putting tonight together. You know, this does not happen. What you see around you does not happen at many universities in this country. There might be some that get more people, but there's none that get more quality people. And trust me, there's a lot of Division I schools that don't get a third of the people that are here tonight. And that speaks in volumes for you and your support and your love for this university. And that means a tremendous amount to me and to my team. One sidebar, I have to thank Lynette Rivera for coming. Is Lynette still here? Is Lynette anywhere? Where's Lynette? If she is, please stand up. Lynette's due date is today. And I cut a deal with her. I talked to her earlier in the day, and I said, what do you think? She goes, well, I'm going to try to come. Her and her husband, Bruno, who's a wonderful guy, they were going to try to come. And I said, well, here's the deal. If you have that baby during the ceremony, you got to name it Digger. So it's on. Let's get some labor going here. Our present team, you know, every day we talk about, you know, just being one. And I've done a lot of these banquets. I've been to a lot of different functions, and I think it's wonderful that our guys are all spread out, sitting at tables, and we talk about the opportunities they have and to meet people that they'll be friends with the rest of their lives, and for people to know what they're really all about. And so often, you know, you call each person's name and they stand up and you give them a round of applause. One of the things I want to do this year is I'd like my coaching staff and their wives and guests who are with them and our team members to all please stand up together at this moment. So please, all the team members, coaching staff, our athletic trainers, everyone, please stand up. Thank you, guys. You know, there's a lot of people, obviously everyone in this room probably knows the majority of those people, but my mindset is there's a lot of people who don't know us, but they will come March. And you'll know everyone who just stood up and the part that they took in helping this program move in the right direction and perhaps have a special year. I can't tell you how hard they've worked, how pleased I've been with them, and it's a difficult situation at 19, 20, 21 years old to have a new person come in and your life's turned upside down, and I can't thank them enough for being so positive and being so good during this transition. And we've had no peripheral distractions, something we talk about all the time. They've done a great job working in school first and foremost, and then on the court every day. And as we move forward towards Friday, I'm thrilled to coach them and to have a great staff. And you'll get to know all of them as time passes. The one person I do want to have stand alone, God bless her, Father. So she's got an easy pass with St. Peter, and that's my wife, Mary Beth, if she could stand up. She, as you know, and there's so many successful, very busy people here, when you're building something, it takes time and it takes effort, it takes a lot of sweat, and I'm not there much, and it's tough for coaches' wives because you're with other people's children. And, you know, I remember I was on a run during the summer, and I was at about 8 or 10 days in a row, and I stopped in, and I got in at about 3, and I got up at about 6, and as I got out of bed, she gave me a little whack, and she said, "Thanks for dropping by." We both slept for 3 hours, so it wasn't like it was 20 years ago. I was exhausted, but that's a whole nother story. The other thing is, you know, there's a stretch where, you know, I'll come home and I'll say, well, I saw this great player, and I'll be excited. I saw this great player in Milwaukee, and then I was in Chicago, and I saw a great player, and I stopped in Brooklyn the day after, and then I was out here, and then she said, you know, by the way, there's 3 sleeping in these bedrooms over here you haven't seen in about a week. You ought to drop by and see them. That's the life of a coach's wife, and I appreciate everything she does and how she can handle it, and it takes a special breed, that's for sure. But she also understands she was first and foremost in pushing me towards coming to Fordham. And she just had a feeling, and she was right on with it. So I'm thrilled to be here. And I appreciate everything you do, babe. Thank you. This is an expression that I use often with our team, and you know, they're going to get tired of hearing me use quotes all the time, but the expression is that a great team beats with one heart. And I've coached a lot of teams, I've watched a lot of teams play, and I don't know if I've ever seen a better example of that a great team beats with one heart as much as I did last night. I had an opportunity to spend the night with the majority of the members of the 71 team over on Arthur Avenue, and it was just an incredible experience for me to watch them embrace after not seeing each other in some cases for 40 years, and to see them start telling stories about each other, and to see 60-year-old men light up and look like 12-year-old boys. Never underestimate the power of sport, and never underestimate the power of a team. Because what Digger Phelps did in bringing this group together, and the power that they still have with each other over the years. And, you know, I had a sister and no brothers, and I got a couple tables of my guys in the back, and my loyalty to them is tribal. They're all my brothers, older or younger. We've known each other since grade school. And after last night's experience, I just feel like I've added 12 more people to that group. And they just went out of their way to tell me how much they loved Fordham, how much they cared about Fordham. And I said to them that it's important for you to be back here, not just tonight, but any opportunity you get, please just call. You're still on scholarship in my book. I'll fly you in, I'll put you up. I have to talk to Frank about it, but it's so important. And that's what happens at big-time places. And Fordham is a big-time university. Starting... And once again, a quick story. I was in a young recruit's home, and you know, we live in this Google world. Thank you, Bart, by the way, for the Google world we live in. But the young guy's father, I got on a roll. It was 7:30 in the morning. He's actually, I can't tell you his name because of NCAA rules, but he's also a high school quarterback. So I went to a football game on Friday night, and I was in his home 7:30 Saturday morning, and I spent 2 hours in there. And after talking without taking a sip of water for about 90 minutes, his father said, Coach, we live in a Google world. We know all about Fordham. It's a wonderful school. We know all about you. I need to know one thing. Why did you leave the school you were at before to go to Fordham? And the young man is in the top 1% in the country academically. He's obviously a big-time athlete. And I hadn't rehearsed this, but I don't know. It just hit me. And I said, because I couldn't be here recruiting your son if I wasn't at Fordham. And that's the God's honest truth. So maybe that'll get us over the top, Father. Father McShane met with him. He's sending him emails. He's talking to the Jesuits at his high school. And I think we have this whole thing wired. I hope. There's another expression I learned from Rolly Massimino, who I worked with, and I was blessed to work with him for 12 years. He had taught in high school for 12 years, and like myself, still considered himself an educator and taught me a lot of things. And he gave me an expression that I believe is so true, and I've used it a couple times with my guys in practice. And the expression is that we look around Rose Hill Gym, and that's hallowed ground because of what took place with the 71 team and the other athletes and fans and Fordham students who have passed through there. And we look around that beautiful gym, and I say to the guys, this is our classroom. There's no desks. But every time we take an exam, thousands of people are watching. And I hope this year you're all there to watch us. Thank you all very much. I love you.